They call this the Wooden House District of Helsinki. These beauties were built back in the early 1900s so that the workers of Finland could have nice places to live and nice gardens to tend. They're symbolic of Finland's famed social support system that has made Finns some of the happiest people on Earth. Bless you, Finland, and your wheelbarrow gardens. Of course, progress often has its own plans. The workers here, for example, have been replaced by artsy hipsters seeking a trendy neighborhood. And soon enough, workers and hipsters all over the world might be replaced by robots that don't care about social systems or pretty gardens at all. Hello, robot overlords. Here at Helsinki's most scenic garbage dump are some hard-working robotic arms from a company called Zen Robotics. The Zen part obviously being some bizarre marketing ploy because there's nothing calming about these things. Their mission is to divvy up industrial trash, sorting things like wood and metal into their own piles.
How do you get the robot to see, that it's not wood, that it's a piece of steel, a plastic bag?
Okay.
All this stuff is so amorphous and different.
We use cameras, we use metal detectors, we use 3D sensors, and we use also near-infrared sensors. The AI is able then to predict, what kind of material. We try to understand how is a human operator sorting waste, and he is not picking it and putting it here, it picks and throws.
Yeah.
And we simulated the same movement, so our robot opens the gripper and lets the object fly.
And what do we know about how accurate the robots are?
Depending on the different kind of waste, we can go to a purity up to 90%.
Can we go take a closer look
Yes,
at the
for sure.
robots? Okay.
Yes,
All right.
let's do.
So the waste comes up, it goes on this conveyor belt, and then this is where it's getting scanned.
Yes.
And then in this moment where it's getting scanned, it's telling the robots down the line, there's gonna be an object coming that I want you to grab.
Yes,
And then the arms start to go to work.
yes. The robot gets to pick which waste and to throw it in which bin.
I mean, it does a really good job to me of picking up these objects that are such different sizes.
Yeah. You can believe that there are many man-hours invested to really develop a gripper what is able to grip total different kind of sizes, shapes, and weights.
Yeah.
And I think that is one of the biggest challenges.
Zen Robotics recently put its robots to work right here in the heart of Silicon Valley at this massive garbage processing facility in San Jose. Artificial intelligence and trash commingling in harmony, just the way nature intended. Back in Finland, I took a drive from the dump to Espoo. It's a city about 25 minutes outside of Helsinki that is something of a tech suburb. Nokia's once glorious headquarters are here, and so too are its more sedate current headquarters. And the Angry Birds are here too. But I have not come to Espoo for disgruntled birds or airborne pigs. I have come to see some satellites. This is the headquarters of ICEYE. It's one of a handful of startups that have built small satellites that take constant pictures of what's happening on Earth.
How many satellites have you guys put up today?
The commercial constellation that we operate right now is 3 satellites.
3 satellites. And then your satellites, they're mini fridge, maybe size.
It's the famous mini fridge, yeah.
And then you also want to try and surround the Earth with dozens, hundreds of these things.
Right, yeah. So we really want to make the system that allows you to sort of reliably and accurately and sort of objectively see everything at all times. It's almost like, you know, having a sort of a MRI scan for the Earth.
ICEYE satellites travel from pole to pole every 45 minutes. Rather than cameras, their 3 small sats use something called synthetic aperture radar, or SAR, to pound the Earth with microwave signals from low Earth orbit. They then use signals that are reflected back from the Earth to build images of the surface. Unlike cameras, SAR can see through the cloudiest of days and the darkest of nights. ICEYE combined this radar technology with advanced image processing and computer vision software to create highly detailed pictures.
Can we peek at some of these images and
Sure.
walk through kind of what you guys do?
So this was an example of the Hurricane Dorian in Bahamas. We were able to image this exactly when the hurricane was on top of the island. This is the island as it normally is, and then in the afterwards, the land border used to be here. And I think here the sort of really dramatic thing is that all of these red dots are, you know, buildings, you know, fully submerged. This is exactly, you know, what becomes sort of insurance information.
Yeah, so you have proof that all this stuff flooded and... And
then proof is one thing, and then of course, you know, just ability to react. That like now, you know, what if you could trigger the payment to these guys automatically, so that like the people get to rebuild their lives and so forth.
much more quickly. Yeah.
Now here we're looking at the large tanker, the Grace 1. It relates to the sanctions to Iran. It became this big story when it was impounded in Gibraltar, when it was said that it was headed towards Syria with a tank full of Iranian oil. This is an image from a while back where we're able to see the Grace 1 ship here in the Iranian shores in January.
So maybe the U.S. knows where this tanker is, the NSA knows the CIA, and they can choose to make public what they want. But basically with you guys, I mean, there's a democratization to all this where anyone who's willing to pay for your imagery, you know, it's not just in the hands of these few governments now. It's like everybody can know what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, part of the big story here. In the case of this tanker, like what was really interesting is, well, was it full or was it not full? How full was it? And so forth.
If it's full of oil, it's down in the water and you're getting something on, just the depth from like a shadow off the water or something like that.
Yeah, exactly like this. And then this is a mine. It's an open pit mine. So, you know, this is like the more mundane use case here is just that you monitor the progress of the mining activity. But of course, you know, the safety of, is there some displacement that is, you know, likely to cause landslides, or is there some underground mining that is likely to cause collapses?
When it started in 2014, ICEYE was the very first company to build a commercial satellite in Finland. Since then, it's raised more than $65 million from investors and plans to launch a constellation of 18 small satellites in the next couple of years.
Right now, we're sort of fully booked with customers. So there would be some governments, there would be some insurance, some finance.
I mean, there's like a ton of positive use cases to all this stuff. I do think some people, though, would be creeped out a bit, right, about this all-seeing eye that is keeping track of what people are doing.
I think, you know, as far as sort of like the sort of creepiness on a sort of personal level, I think a lot of the sort of mobile phones, you know, internet, you know, sort of Google type services, like they tend to track you to much higher precision than we ever. So like, you know, we would never really be in the business of identifying humans. Like, you know, we don't image faces, or like the resolution is way lower than that. For us, it's about objectivity of being able to provide as neutral source of information as possible.
AI robots and super fancy satellites are all well and good. Probably. But no visit to Finland would be complete without exploring its oldest and most famous tech, the sauna. Or as they say it here, the sauna. And since Finland is a tiny place full of accommodating people, I was able to find not just a sauna, but the sauna. And not just any sauna companion, but the sauna companion. Finland's most famous actor, Jesper Paakkonen. Along with having an outstanding six-pack, Jesper owns this beauty. He joined me at about 11 p.m. to teach me the art of the sauna and what it means to the Finnish people.
When you walk into a sauna, you're stripped down from your clothes, you're stripped down from all the titles, your wealth. You leave your wallet outside, and it's just a bunch of people at their most bare state of being. And it's really hard to not be honest when you're so exposed and so bare.
Yeah. So this is a pretty common thing, is to come here and hash things out.
Yeah. Sauna is the only word from Finnish language to travel to other languages as a common word to use. And saunas are more common in Finland. It's more common to own a sauna than it is to own a car.
Okay.
Which means every single person has a sauna.
Yeah. Everybody has these saunas, but the ones here are very traditional. And what is the classic Finnish sauna?
The real sauna would always be a wood-heated sauna, because the burning of the wood gives the sauna this very distinct flavor, or this löyly.
Okay.
Löyly, the word means like the spirit of the sauna,
okay.
And the feel when you throw water onto the sauna heater's rocks. That's löyly. And you just get much better löyly when you heat it with wood.
Löyly.
Löyly. Löyly.
Löyly.
Perhaps unimpressed by my grasp of the Finnish language, Jesper decided it was a good idea to complete the sauna experience by subjecting me to a ritualized form of icy torture.
We just lower ourselves down to our necks, and then we take a few deep, kind of just easy breaths.
Okay.
Try not to hyperventilate.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Takes a second to settle in. I feel good.
Yeah.
Woo. Okay, that's refreshing. All right, man.
Let's see, now you start feeling this tingling,
I'm definitely
warmth.
able to breathe now.
Yeah.
So that's
And you don't
positive.
feel cold, right?
No, I feel good actually. Yes.
Once you do it a few times, first you get used to it,
Yeah.
and then you get addicted to it.
So how many times would you do that during the course of a sauna session?
I usually do it 4 times back and forth.
Okay.
So sauna, swim, and then you end it with the swim. I often say that sauna is like the church for a normal, average Finn. If he or she goes to the sauna, you're in silence and you sweat out the daily sorrows, both mentally and physically. And there's something church-like.
Sadly, I think our version is like football game or something.